What's up, everybody? Michael Elefante here. I want to talk to you today about why you should focus on earnings and not necessarily savings. And before we get into it, please do subscribe below. Like the video if you get to the end and you end up enjoying it. I do appreciate all those who have subscribed so far. So, not to get confused with the title, it's not that I'm not encouraging people to save money, because I do. What I encourage people to do is focus on earnings, though, because ultimately focusing on earnings and then investments is how you're going to achieve financial freedom. You can't save your way to financial freedom. I mean, I guess you can, but it will take you decades to do so versus focusing on earnings. And then once you focus on those earnings, again, you could take the excess that you make and focus on investing that money and have your money work hard for you so you can stop working so hard for your money. Now, as I said, you can only save so much. If you're making 50 grand a year and your living expenses total $25,000 a year and you're really budgeting hardcore after taxes, whatever, you might be able to save, I don't know, $10,000 to $15,000 for that given year. Now, if you're investing in a 401k or something like that and you're stocking away 10 grand, you can only save up, maybe 5 grand for an investment into real estate or the stock market. You can only live so far beneath your means, right? I mean, even if you didn't spend a penny of that 50 grand, you can only save 50 grand. So what would it mean if you could make an additional 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a year? What would that do for you? Especially if you continue to live the same lifestyle you're living, you could just stack on an extra $10,000 to $20,000 in savings like that by increasing your earnings. Again, you can only save so much. So how can you start earning more money? Number one, and I've done this plenty of different times in the past, you can always side hustle. I tell people this all the time. Think about how much time that we all spend, we're all guilty of it, spending scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Facebook, kind of hanging out, doing nothing, or even going out to eat, spending a lot of time. If you guys, have an ultimate goal of achieving financial freedom someday, have a side hustle. Anybody can go drive for Uber or Uber Eats. Uber Eats is exploding right now. I think they just bought Postmates or one of the other delivery service apps. And, my brother drives for Uber Eats. Some of my buddies and friends drive for Uber Eats. My little brother tells me he's making a killing right now driving for Uber Eats, and same with some of his friends. They're just going out a couple hours a week and they're earning a few $1,000s a month. Now, what can that do for you guys, right? Again, if you focus on your earnings and you can earn a few extra $1,000s a month, what if you just invested all of that? And it does not affect your lifestyle or how you're currently living today. That's how you start building, a real nest egg, or start building a plan and a foundation to help you achieve financial freedom sooner than you may have thought. So not everybody's going to want to drive for Uber or Uber Eats. I get that. Obviously it's weird right now with the coronavirus thing going on. A lot of bars are shut down, but you can always go bartend at night or on the weekends. Bartenders can make a killing, all right? They can make a ton of cash and tips, especially if you're in a popular area, a city, or maybe a beach town or something where the bar scene is happening, especially right now throughout the summer. If you have a special talent, or if you grew up playing sports, if you're into the arts, music, anything, right, that someone else that's younger or even the same age might have interest in, why don't you provide hourly lessons? You can make a ton of money providing hourly lessons, right? Baseball, basketball, football, soccer lessons, softball, whatever it is. Again, if you have musical talent, if you can sing, if you could play a certain instrument, somebody else out there is looking to learn that instrument or skill. Why not put it out there, and then you can kind of build your own little clientele and they pay you an hourly rate or a monthly rate. It's a great way to earn money and still enjoy something that you grew up enjoying yourself. So Airbnb allows you to offer an Airbnb experience, and they're actually focusing more on doing this virtually now with the pandemic, so that folks who are looking to typically host maybe an activity in the city that they're in, they can actually do like a virtual thing, like a cooking class or something. So again, you could teach music, you could do all sorts of stuff, arts, paintings, whatever you like to do. Maybe you could host an Airbnb experience, and you can kind of build clientele around the world and use Airbnb's platform and reach to help accelerate that for you. If you have a particular interest or something that you do all the time that maybe others might be interested in, why don't you start a blog or a vlog on YouTube about it? If you build up enough clientele or build up enough followers, especially on a blog, where you can start embedding links and stuff to where maybe you're reviewing products that you like, you can start making money that way. So the more people that visit your site, the more people that click those links, the more you're going to get commissioned by whatever you're posting for, Amazon products or individual products for certain companies. And then if that grows, you can actually get sponsorships for like when you travel. So if you stay in a certain hotel, if you're going to do more travel vlogging or blogging, things like that. So you can start building stuff up over the time. I know folks that I follow online that have actually built blogs into 7-figure incomes. That's over $1 million a year. And so all they do is travel all over the United States and internationally. And now that they have such a following, they stay for free, or even they'll get paid by resorts for them to stay there, and they'll give them tickets to local shows, things like that. So you get like 5-star experience, premium experiences when you do travel. So blogs and vlogs can be extremely powerful. So if you like to travel, why not go for it? This one may be one of the simplest ones, but uncomfortable for people. But if you feel like you do your job really well, but you're getting undercompensated for it, ask for a raise, right? If your boss or direct report doesn't know that you're, obviously everybody probably wants a raise, but if your boss isn't thinking about it every day like you are, talk to them about it. He or she might be willing to jump on your side and be like, you know what, you've been performing really well. I'm gonna go to bat for you and ask HR to approve a raise. You never know until you ask. So talk to them, and even if they say no, say, okay, well, what are the criteria for me to earn a raise or earn a promotion? Until you know what it takes to earn that promotion or raise, then how are you going to go about your day-to-day in order to achieve that? And if there is no promotion or raise in sight and you don't enjoy your job at all, why are you staying there? So I encourage people, get a side hustle. Start doing that in your free time in the evenings, on the weekends. Start a blog, ask for a raise, start applying for other jobs, right? So if you're not enjoying your job, again, I really encourage you, why not apply for 10 jobs a day and interview? Worst case is you go through the interview process and it doesn't work out, or they make an offer and you don't accept it. But it's always good to keep your interview skills sharp too. So again, here's another thing. If you don't enjoy your job and you're also not enjoying how much you're getting compensated for it, and it's not pushing you in the right direction to achieving whatever your financial freedom number is, again, start applying for jobs. If you're not sure what to apply for, I do encourage people, whether you think you're a good fit for sales or not, sales is probably the fastest path to a very high earnings, both wages and commission, as compared to any other job that doesn't require an extremely large skill set or hours or years of training and studying. Think like medical school, right? So it costs many people hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt to go to medical school, and several years to wait to start making that kind of income. And we do need more doctors out there, but maybe that's not for you. You don't want to go spend money on a master's degree or graduate degree, or become a lawyer and all sorts of stuff that costs money. Instead, go into a sales job where companies are always hiring good salespeople. And that's a place where you can go and immediately, in the first couple of years, build up to a 6-figure, even high 6-figure income. Because in a lot of sales jobs, again, you want to probably be in a sales job. I encourage you to not be in one that's high volume, right? A lower dollar amount of what products or services cost. If you go into a lower volume or even a high volume but more expensive products, that's where you're going to make more money, because you're often going to get paid a percentage of what your annual quota is, or even a percentage of total revenue that you bring in. So tech sales is great, medical sales, device or pharma, things like that. If you sell expensive stuff, you're probably going to get paid more for it, right? Because there's more money to go around. And I promise you, you are probably a better salesperson than you think, right? It just takes a little bit of effort. It takes some relationship building skills, and don't think because you don't know anything about tech or medical or pharma that you can't learn, right? Most people in these industries started with no knowledge or background. So I'm in the tech business right now, and I had zero technical skills or background. And I still feel like that sometimes. I've learned a ton over the past several years, but oftentimes you're paired up with an engineer or a group of people that really get in the weeds with the technology or the product or services. And as a salesperson, you're more of the facilitator, right? You're kind of the quarterback of the team. You're making sure the right people have the ball, for a sports analogy, at the right time. So again, in my opinion, the fastest path to increasing your earnings is to get a sales job, whether it's full-time or part-time, to where it's heavily commission focused, because if you're willing to put in the work, you can make a ton of money, right? And you don't have to spend money on a fancy degree or go to medical school or something like that, or flight school, become a pilot, to where, then you're locked into trading a lot of time for a stressful job to make a lot of money. Now, once you start making more money through side hustling, through promotion, through changing jobs, whatever it may be, don't spend the extra money. It's okay to spend a little bit of it, but why not continue to living under the means you are? And again, stop focusing on savings as much, focus on your earnings. But I do want you guys to focus on budgeting your money. So track the money coming in and track the money going out, and figure out where you can save more money, and not just to save it and hoard it, but to save it to invest it. And the more money you make through, again, your new job or whatever the side hustle is, that whatever that difference is, invest all of it. Save up to invest in real estate, invest in the stock market, invest in things like Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Facebook, all these big tech stocks especially, that are continuing to just dominate the stock market right now. If you guys love the products or services they provide, instead of buying more and more of it, buy more and more of their stock, because everybody else is doing the same thing, right? They're all acting as consumers. Stop acting like a consumer, act like an investor. So again, you guys, I'll leave you with that today. Focus on earnings and not so much your savings, and it will fast track your path to financial freedom. And again, start investing what's left over. Don't start spending what's left over, right? Start investing it. Start thinking like an investor, and create your path towards financial freedom. So again, guys, please do subscribe below. I appreciate it, and hit the like button, and we'll catch y'all next week.